is the record breaker himself. It's Paul White. Paul, good evening.
Good evening, Cookie.
And what's your verdict on that first half then so far?
Poor start, but I think the class shows through in the end. The quality of players we have out there, we should be maybe 3, 4, 5 on up, so it is what it is.
Different position for you, looking from the sidelines. Did you really want to be out there, or aren't you that bothered getting Lewis a game?
I think it's good for Lewis getting a game. You know, he's let's be real to him. He's coming every away game, every home game. He warms me up, he helps me out, he does everything for me. So it's good to see him out there getting his experience. And you know, he plays for us during the week, some days on the Wednesdays or the Thursdays with the education lads. So you know, fair play to him. He's getting his chance. Hopefully he doesn't take it though, because I don't know position.
Well, you're certainly getting up the rankings in the clean sheets. We discussed it over social media a little while ago, didn't we? And you're getting up there. You're 14th, I think, overall now, and
yeah.
It must be great. I mean, to be in that position. And there's one person that Adam Sollett only played 57 games and he had 35 clean sheets for Kettering. That's quite remarkable. Yeah. But you're certainly up there with them. You do like the clean sheets. I saw you on Saturday, you know, really fighting to keep that clean sheet.
Yeah, I think it's more of an individual thing, and at the end of the day, you look in pre-season, you set a target and stuff, and whether you hit that target or not, it doesn't really matter. But the main thing for us is the common goal for the team, getting a promotion or winning the league, and if the clean sheets come as well, then fair enough, you know. But the main thing is winning the league or getting promotion, and then if I get the clean sheet the record again, then that's a bonus. But we'll see how it goes. We're getting there.
Of course, not only are you Kettering's #1, you're also Kettering's #1 with the future Lions, with Luke Graham, who's not here this evening, and will be
on the bench. He's on the bench.
He will be out there tomorrow at KBA, I think. Are you with us tomorrow?
Yeah. So with the development lads out tomorrow. Well, for me, coming from kind of full-time football down to part-time football, it was a bit of a culture shock. I'm not going to lie. You're used to going in training every morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and finishing at 12, and going for a bit of lunch and having a crack with the lads back in the house and whatever, and then you come to part-time football and you have to work and stuff, you know. And the club, when I dropped down, the club were very good with me, sorting me out with a job. You know, I'm loving what I'm doing. It's getting me back in the full-time environment, having a little banter with the lads. Obviously with Massaro on the bench, Joe Massaro, it's a good experience with him. But you know, if I can pass on anything to them and help them during the day and maybe produce 1 or 2 players while we're at it, then it's a success. You know, it's always a big thing for the club to have an academy. You know, some days you see the under-7s, under-6s, under-8s up here, and look, that's brilliant, because at the end of the day, when we do move back to Kettering, whether I'm here or not in some capacity, we'll see, but when we do move back to Kettering, those lads, those 6, 7-year-olds, they're going to be 15, 16, 17, whatever they're going to be, and they're the next generation of fans or next generation of first-team players. So it's good to see them around the place at this time, and hopefully a bit of success as well, so they can enjoy it.
Last week I watched one of your sides against Boston United, who are a league higher. Well, their first team are a league higher than Kettering. They did very well against that opposition. It was a very good game, very competitive, and it must be encouraging to see these players develop.
Yeah, well, we're probably, in the whole grand scheme of things, we're probably a year ahead of where we should be. We were toying with the idea of entering the National League Youth Alliance for next season. And we said, you know, let's do it this year and put the young lads in, give them the experience. So majority of our side in the under-19s is under-17s. So you're playing 2 years above yourself. That Boston team we seen last week, they're majority 18, 19-year-olds, and our lads are 16, just turned 17. So you know, it's a great experience. You know, if you're good enough, you're old enough. That's what he's saying anyway. And the more experience we can get those lads, the better it's going to stand them in years to come. And look, we played Boston United two or 3 weeks ago. We got beat 3-0 at their stadium, which is great experience for the lads. And then you come back 2 weeks later at KBA and you draw 2-2, wasn't it? So that's progression in 2 or 3 weeks. So the lads we have are eager to learn. They're good lads, you know. So
if there is anyone watching, or any parents of children that are watching, how can they become part of Kettering Town's future?
Well, you look at it, whatever age, 4, 5, 6, you get onto Jason Turlin. You know, they do a great job with the young lads, all the way up, like I say, up from 4s upwards. You have the disability team, the ladies team, the girls team. So wherever you are, where you're from, what age you are, it doesn't matter, gender, anything, you can come and join. You know, we're a very inclusive club. It's a very community kind of club. You know, the fans saved the club back in the day. Richie's come in and saved the club back in the day, and you just see the crowds we're getting. I think the average attendance is 700 or something like that. So when I first come here 2-3 seasons ago, we were around 400-500. So there's interest there, and all you got to do is look back in the day at Rock and Road, and I'm gutted I never got to play there, but you look back and you see 1,500, 2,000, and I'm actually a Leeds fan, and I've seen Kettering play Leeds back.
Haven't you? At least got help.
So I've seen Kettering play Leeds back in the day and stuff, and you look at those days and you say, why can't we have those days again? But it starts in the league. We need to go up a league and push on from there.
We just had the signing of Dan Holman from Aldershot, who was on the bench in that FA Cup game. That's a huge signing for Kettering Town.
I remember when I was at Forest Green, I was number 2, and we were looking to win the league that year, and Cheltenham ended up winning it. And you had a friend of mine, Danny Wright, but you Dan Holman up front as well. And I know the Cheltenham fans, they were our local rivals, but they called him Dan Goalman. So I think he scored 15 goals in 18 games that year. We couldn't get near him when we played him. And you look at the squad we have now, and it's probably Marcus Law Christmas list really. When you look at your strikers, Rhys Honus, Aaron O'Connor, obviously Dan Holman now. You start going back further the pitch, Marcus Kelly, Richins, Mills, Meikle, defenders Luke Graham, Snoop, Durrell. You're looking through the whole team, and you're seeing the depth and the quality and the experience. And it's not experience that players are over the hill and they're looking for the final payday. You've got players who are in their prime, experienced, still able to do the business and wanting to succeed things. We all have the same goal. Like I said, we all have a common goal: get promotion, win the league. Hopefully we're doing well at the time being doing that, and let's see if we can push on. Like I say, if you're an opposition team and you look at our squad on paper, I'll be scared as a keeper. So I'm lucky to be on the other end.
After the games, especially against Newmarket and I think
Needham
Market, yes, we'll have those as well, and also against Stratford Town when we beat them. The dressing room is quite loud, isn't it, with the music, etc. It must be a good dressing room to be in.
Yeah, it's a funny one actually, because in pre-season, after all the pre-season games, lads are saying, "Oh, is there team spirit here? We have a very quiet group," and I don't know. It's just I suppose winning is the main thing really. Once you're winning, the atmosphere starts to pick up. But everyone gets on with everyone. We all have banter in the WhatsApp groups. We all have banter in the dressing room. There's no bad eggs. It's brilliant. It's a good laugh to be around, to be fair. Who's
the club joker, would you say? The prankster, the mischievous one, is the one?
Mischievous one. I'd say a few fingers are pointed at me. I'm not too sure on that. We'd have to go to court about that. But probably me, Lyndon Meikle, Rhys Honus, Aaron O'Connor, those kind of characters. I think everyone has a bit really. There's no really quiet ones. Gary Stower's a bit quiet, but get a few drinks in him and he comes out of his shell. But yeah, I think everyone's involved in the jokes and stuff like that. So I think it's a very inclusive group.
That's great, isn't it? That's all about bonding and getting together. And as you say, promotion is the goal for this season, and with this squad, hopefully that will be achieved. But got a difficult end of November, beginning of December, with the amount of games. They're all here at Latimer Park if the weather's kind to us, and it must put a lot of pressure on those legs eventually when this glut of games comes in.
Yeah, I suppose like I said, with the depth in the squad we have, you look at tonight and you're playing Kings Lynn, who obviously have a good side, and we've had many good battles with them before, and you're able to make 4 or 5 changes, but you're making 4 or 5 changes now where you're bringing in actually like for like quality. So you're probably looking at a squad and you're probably looking at 16, 17, 18 players that potentially could start. I think that's the difference this year in comparison to maybe not so much last year, but the year before and stuff. You have players coming in that are like for like quality, and you don't weaken the side when you're bringing players in. And when you have a run of games like we have now against good opposition, and like you say, a bit of pressure on us to keep up, because there's obviously teams chasing us, and you can spring that quality from the bench and that depth, then it takes a little bit of pressure off, because people coming in are like for like.
The big fear at pre-season and the beginning of this season was the loss of Matty Stevens, who scored all those goals on loan last season from Peterborough United, but he's almost been forgotten, hasn't he, now?
I wouldn't say forgotten. Matty was a great lad, and let's not forget he had a little tough period when he first came in. He wasn't scoring, he was missing chances and stuff like that, and it shows the character that he has to get through that little bad patch and start. What did he get? 31, 32 goals over the season or something like that. So you got to give credit where credit's due to Matty. He made a huge impact last year, took a bit of pressure off Aaron and Brett, and you know he's a great addition. But look, fair play to Matt. He's stepped up a league to Slough. You know it's a good club down in Slough. I think we have some good battles with Slough as well, but they're a good club. It's close to where he's from, and you know it's working out to be a good move for him. Hopefully he can push on and go further up the ladder, which probably his ability deserves. But for us, you look at the resurgence in Reece Honus this year up front. The impact he had in the first 10-15 games was frightening. You've Aaron O'Connor coming back, 40 goals a season. You know that's frightening, and then you have Dan Holman coming into the picture as well. So, you know, we're well
happy days, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, as long as they start putting in the back of the net and we keep keeping clean sheets, I think Latimer Park will be a very happy place.
Thank you, Paul, for your astuteness there of the Kettering Town squad, and hopefully we can continue tonight to get a few more goals, and you'll be back between the sticks on the Saturday at Stamford in the FA Trophy.
No problem. We'll hand you back to John Dunham as well to put you all to sleep again.
Thank you, Paul.